Hi there. Welcome to Center Your Being TV. My name is MaMa Shah, and I am here to share with you the chakra of the day. The chakra of the day is the heart chakra, and in typical custom, I am wearing green. You know, you've seen me in red for that root chakra and orange for that sacral chakra. We moved up to the solar plex chakra, and I was adorned in my yellow. And here we are today in the space of the heart chakra. Let me see if I can show you my heart. The heart chakra. And we're going to get into it. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So I forgot my computer. Give me just a second. You're going to hear me run. Okay. Oh, hey. Back. I'm back again. I'm back. And I'm feeling great. And I'm back. And I gotta say that everything is going my way. Ooh, 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 ooh. I enjoy singing. I don't know if I can. I think one time I was in the car singing my heart out with my roommate and her children and her family. And I was, I think I can sing. I think I have a beautiful voice, especially when I'm in the shower or a good echo chamber. My voice sounds great to me. And I think I can hold a note, I believe. But probably can't sing and maybe don't need to, but guess what? I'm gonna do it. All right, so again, talking about the heart chakra, I am in a very happy and excited space today. It is Wednesday, and Wednesday is a day in the sisterhood that I share where we typically would wear white. I don't wear my whites anymore. We'll talk about that in another space and time where I kind of talk about just trying to get these braids redone. But we'll talk about in a different time and space the journey of wearing whites. I had a really good conversation with a really good friend of mine the other day about the journey of wearing whites and why we both don't wear our whites anymore. And hopefully we'll get together and have a planned dialogue and share some conversation about the journey of wearing whites. Okay, but let's get into this chakra series, okay? As you know, I love chakra anatomy.com. Okay, they're a wonderful site, and I just adore them. I really like how they have the information pulled together for people to access, and so I'm going to get on their site real quick. Typically, I have things planned, but I had some things going on in the house today, so I am a little bit behind myself. Alrighty, my loves, here we go. Heart chakra. The heart chakra, pronounced the Anahata, the center of unconditional love and compassion, is in the center of the human energy system. All right, let's learn a little bit more. All right. The heart chakra, the wellspring of love, warmth, compassion, and joy, as I stated, is located in the center of the chest at the heart level. It is in the center of your deep bonds with other beings, your sense of caring, compassion, your feelings of self-love, altruism, generosity, kindness, and respect reside. The heart chakra is an integrating and unifying chakra, bringing to wholeness. As such, it is your higher healing center. Indeed, most spiritual traditions most spiritual traditions recognize love as the ultimate healing source. The energy of the heart chakra allows us to recognize that we are a part of something larger, that we are interconnected with an intricate web of relationships extending through life and the universe. The heart chakra allows us to recognize and get in touch with the sacred and fundamental truth that runs through all life and connects everything together. When your heart chakra is open and flowing freely, not only are you loving to others, but you are also loving to yourself. You know when you need to say no and when you need care and self-nurturing. All right. The element of the heart chakra is air. I am an air sign. I am an Aquarius. And I am the water bearer, nurturer. You always gonna get my heart to show up first. Know anything about me? The shape is a crescent moon. What else might be interesting here? I always like to give you the organ. Skin. All right, so if you would please go ahead on and interestingly enough, and I also do tarot and tarot readings, but I just saw this down here and it says the suit that is connected to the heart chakra is the Suit of Swords, which is connected to air and intellect, the mind. Okay, interesting, huh? The heart chakra is connected to the mind, but we'll get into that. So I wanted to encourage you all. Like I said, I'm not being paid for any promotion, etc., but I really like Chakra Anatomy. Please visit them online. They've got wonderful information. So let's get into the shared experience of the heart chakra, because I always got one for ya. All right. So my heart chakra share for the day, my testimony around the power of the heart chakra. As many of you know, I am living with lupus, and that I just discovered that I had lupus in November of 2021. Prior to my discovery that I had lupus, I had a series of health complications that were kicked off in 2017 when I was unfortunately hitting my rib cage. Now, and as I share this story, you're going to see me look around. The reason why I'm doing that is I want to be very careful to protect the names and the people who are a part of this dynamic story, a part of this particular area of my dynamic journey, because I have love for them. Love. Okay. So there was a situation within my family dynamic where one of the younger people in the family was having a emotional and mental health meltdown. They were being aggressive towards their parent and the rest of their family, which included myself and my children. And it so happened on this particular day that I was called into the space to help. That's all I can say. I was called. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out to this day why I was called into the space while these two individuals were going at it. But anyway, issues of the heart. And that's why this is my testimony, right? So I got called into the space as the two individuals are going at it. And I remember, because I love them both, I was like, oh, this is not going to go down today, not on my shift. I am not going to watch this young person who I have known all of their life. Met this young person when they were literally 18 months old and in diapers, and became one of this young person's first nannies. Okay, so I was this person's nanny, had taken care of this person throughout their childhood. I mean, this person was moving into their 20s at the time, I believe. They were either at 19, about to be 20, or 20, right? And so this young person, were they 20 at the time? I think. Anyway, I just know that they were a young adult, and they were absolutely too old, in my opinion, to not be able to control themselves, especially with their parent. All right, so the individual is going after their parent. I get called into the room. I know these folks extremely well. They are my family. I don't even feel comfortable saying folks, but for the sake of this conversation, I want there to be some understanding that there was separation. This was not a biological child of mine, but a child that I considered to be like a child of mine, right? And their parent is someone who I can honestly say, looking right in this camera, I absolutely would live for. And there are very few people on this planet that I would put myself in between a moving bullet, a car, and themselves. And this is one of those people. There are 4 other on the planet that I would do this for. I would take a bullet for my brother, hands down. And I don't even have to think about that shit. If I could put myself in osmosis to always be the one to take the hit before he was in harm. I love my brother. He has done so much for me. I would take any hit down the road for my brother. And that's just how I feel about it. I love him. And I know he loves me and would do the same. We all know, if you know me, I don't play about my children. My daughter and I have had challenges. I don't play about her though. And I have jumped in front of many a projectile on her behalf. So my children, my son, and my granddaughter. So those 4, and those are my biological. That's my day one. The family I created, and my brother, who is my remaining family left from my mother and my childhood. So without a doubt, just know, off the rip, some coming after them. I'm in between it. I'm trying to make sure that it hit me first, because I don't want to live in the aftermath of them not being well when I could have done something to prevent it. That's just how I feel. All right. And remember, we talking heart chakra, so I'm giving you the truth of my heart. I love deeply, and I'm extremely loyal. I shared in another series that the Aquarius by nature, we're extremely loyal. We're probably as loyal as you can get, meaning we are definitely like all of those fixed signs. Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, Taurus. Loyal. You can't get no more loyal than somebody who is fixed in their nature, because we know who we are. We know what we're about for the most degree. I mean, we fluctuate and go through stuff, but at the end of the day, there's a part of our nature that is just grounded, right? And so I'm like that. So anyway, this individual is somebody that I consider to be like my family. Is somebody coming for this person? I'm coming for you. I know that. And this person's partners, romantic partners, they know it. If you messing with this person, you messing with me, and I'm coming for you. And that includes this person's children, of which this situation happened with this person's child. You're not coming for that person and not having to deal with me, because I love that person. All right. So I get called in. The young person is going off and being disrespectful, and I'm in my pajamas. It's like 8 a.m. I hadn't even gotten up to get my coffee to go to work. It's like, I don't know, like 8 o'clock, 7:30, something like that. Children haven't even gone to school yet. And so I get called up. I'm in my robe, like, good morning. What's going on? They going at it. So I yelled to my son, baby, go get my pants. This ain't about to go down with me. If this is about to happen, this particular young person gonna have to go through me. Like, and my mind at the time was like, they wouldn't. I'm their TT, like almost like they grandma. I know that they are not about to hurt me, but what I'm gonna be able to do is get in the middle of this and make sure they don't hurt themselves or their parent. Why I do that? Why I do that? Why let my heart get me into something that I really did not need to be involved in and really cost me a lot? I got jammed, right? And so the individual went to, I believe, swing at their parent. And I remember just, and I'm very strong, I'm a massage therapist, so I remember just like wrapping my arms around the young person, you know. I got him, I picked the person up, and mind you, I am 5'4". What does Dr. Umar say? 5'5" and thick in the thighs. Well, there you go. 5'5" and thick in the thighs, but not that thick. But anyway, I'm actually not that thick. I'm kind of skinny. But I'm 5'5". So anyway, 5'4", just to be honest. But you know, it just sounded good. Okay, so anyway, I grabbed the person. I'm holding him. I pick the person up. Get the person off their parent. Toss them over to the side. In the midst of that time, this person is just doing that, right? And so I'm just taking the body blows, but you're not about to get my friend, my heart, like my ace boom coon, right? It's such a racist term. I probably shouldn't have used that. But anyway, my ace, right? So in the midst of the young person get the person off, the older person sitting there trying to get themselves like back to a space of reckoning, and I remember saying, y'all, something's not right. And I began to not be able to breathe. I remember not being able to breathe. Felt like my chest was really tight. All this whole side of my body was just in pain. I couldn't feel my fingers. I could not feel that entire side of my body. The whole shit went numb. I remember feeling like I wanted to vomit. It felt like the one time I knew I had a concussion, where I ran into a pole in the middle of the night, running through my own basement, pitch black, ran into one of them poles that holds up the foundation, and yes, definitely gave myself a concussion. So I'm sitting up here, I was like, I didn't get hit in the head. I don't recall getting hit at all. I mean, you know, I remember the little fluctuations, but in the midst of all that, I really didn't remember getting hit. But anyway, I couldn't breathe. I felt like vomiting. Everything in the room was spinning. I felt like my body was 100 degrees and cold at the same time. Everything on the left side of my body went numb. And yeah, it was bad. So I wasn't able to do anything else, obviously, with that situation. And all I remember is just being like, I just wanted to vomit. And it was just such incredible pain. And then after incredible pain, it was like a tingling numbness. That's all I can explain to you. And I swear to you, every part of my body, my sense of taste, smell, it felt like everything had been knocked the hell up out of me, okay? So I was like, I don't know what's wrong, but I'm gonna go sit down. I wasn't a bad bee anymore. I realized my age and my capacity. There was nothing about me that could handle this 20-year-old young person who was trying to assault their parent. And no amount of love in my heart for either one of them could protect any of us in that situation. And that was a hard thing for me to learn. So anyway, I, get myself back downstairs and had to call in the day for work. Ended up, I could not, after I got downstairs, put myself to bed and called myself resting for a second. Do you know that I did get up to try and go to work? I just called them folks and said I was going to be a little late. I get up, I try to go to work. My son, who was homeschooled at the time, he looks at me and he's like, and I'm literally walking, like I put on my clothes and I'm literally walking like this, because to sit up and stretch up, it hurt. That mess hurt. I couldn't, to turn, I was on fire, but I could not miss work. So I get upstairs. I'm trying to go to work. Everybody's looking at me and they're like, where are you going? And I was like, I gotta go to work. I can't miss work. I'm needed at work. I'm always feeling like I'm needed somewhere but in my own skin to take care of myself. Stagnated heart chakra, by the way. Just a little insight. And so I ended up not going to work. I go downstairs to lay down, and by that evening I couldn't move, and that began a journey in the decline of my health. So I stayed in the bedridden for a week. Couldn't move, couldn't get out of the bed. When I did, if I even got up to go pee, peeing hurt, everything hurt. This whole side of my body was swollen, the ribs were swollen. So what I thought I had was a bruised rib in the best situation, perhaps a cracked rib in the worst situation. But again, I think I've shared, I have a challenge with the Western traditional medical complex, and I didn't want to go to the hospital. I, as a massage therapist and a bodywork therapist, again, was like, I can handle it. I'm going to go ahead on and put some CBD oil up on here. I'm going to drink me some turmeric shots, and I'm going to be all right. I'm going to work on the inflammation. It's just inflammation. I'm going to be all right. So I'm doing, my CBD shots. I think at that time, just to knock the pain, I was taking a shot of tequila with turmeric and a little bit of cayenne pepper in it, and I would drink that, and I promise you it didn't make me feel better, but it was like a little tonic. Okay, so a week goes by, I'm not getting any better. By the time we get to day 10, I believe, the person I was dating at the time comes to the house and he's like, what's going on? You don't look good. I mean, he was coming back and forth, but on this particular day, he was like, this is just not good. He was like, I don't feel comfortable. And so between himself and my son, I was convinced to go to the doctor. I go into the emergency room. I get there, and of course, like I said, I think that I am dealing with a contused rib, a bruised rib. So I get in, and they, get me checked in. I don't remember. Did they take my blood? I don't remember. I'm going to be honest. They put me through whatever series of tests. I'm sitting there and I'm waiting. Really wanting to go home. I hate being in the hospital. Nobody's talking to me. And so finally a nurse comes around, and I said, ma'am, I'm really tired. I really want to go home. I know I'm in here for a bruised rib. I just need the x-ray so that, we can see what's going on, because I'm feeling really bad, but, it's just a bruised rib. Can somebody please give me some information? This woman says to me, she said, ma'am, hold on a second. She goes, she gets my chart, and she's like, nobody's been in here to talk to you? And I was like, no, I did all the testing, and I've just been right here. And she said, honey, she said, why do you think you're in here? And I said, I have a bruised rib. I said, I got hit in the chest, and I think I have a bruised rib. Maybe broken, but I'm not sure. And she said, honey, you're not in here because of a bruised rib, honey. She was like, you're not in here because of a bruised rib. I was like, what? She was like, no, sweetheart. She said, I'm not sure what's going on with your rib, but she said, you're in here because you've had a heart attack. I said, what? Mind you, I was not 50 yet. I don't think I wasn't even in the last 3 years of my 40s. So I was maybe I was 47. I don't know. I know I wasn't 50 yet. And I didn't think I was living that type of a lifestyle where I could have had a heart attack. But I had a heart attack. She was like, yeah, yes, ma'am. She said, your levels are, she explained to me what was going on. And, they were very concerned with the fact that my system was completely depleted of magnesium, several other essential minerals and components. She was like, we're not sure what's going on, but your tests are coming back with some anomalies about your heart and your circulatory health. She was like, we're monitoring you because we believe that you're in the space of having an active heart attack. That's right, I sat at home for a week doing tequila shots with turmeric and cayenne in the space of having a heart attack. Now, why am I sharing all of this? Because what I learned that day, and it was a hard lesson to learn, I am one of those people who operates out of the space of my heart chakra. It is just a natural and fundamental part of who I am. Like I said, most people who know me, who have had an opportunity to know me, know that I will give you whatever I have and whatever I can to put you in a better place. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, I believe in my abundance, and I believe in the fact that I'm blessed. I know it. I'm a child who was adopted, who was rejected, abandoned, adopted, and loved. So, I had a mom who chose to bring me to life, and then I had a mother who chose to raise me right. I felt abundantly blessed that I was chosen twice. That's how I saw it, and that's how it was explained to me. Not a lot of children are picked twice. That's what my mother used to say, and you were. And I felt honored in that. And so as a child who was picked twice, I felt an obligation, in that richness of experience to pass it along. And I lived the larger part of my younger life, certainly up until I was in my 30s, my mid-30s probably, really living by that principle. If I had it, you were going to have it if you needed it, because I knew I could always get more. And when it came to love, when it came to children, babies and fools, honey, just like the Bible, and not the Bible, I don't think the Bible say nothing about babies and fools, so let me not say that. But just like the good Christian folks say, God loved for the babies and the fools, and so did Miss MaMa Shah. If you was a baby, if you was a fool, I loved you, and I was going to make sure that you was all right. And so that's just how I got down. Now, I had a very strong love language and love nature external to myself. I thought that I had a very strong love language for myself. I'm one of those people, people always say, oh, that's the Aquarius in you. No, or maybe it is. But I'm one of those people that if you are treating me poorly, like I don't date men long that come with the BS. I was in one abusive relationship in my college life where that young man whooped my ass. He whooped my ass, and I said never again. And so I have had the unfortunate reality of having people cross my boundaries. Once a person topples all over my boundaries, I don't play that mess again. When you show me your character, I'm a trust in your character. I'm not one of those people talking about, well, girl, he did such and such, and I just don't trust him. No, my conversation is going to be, well, he did such and such, and I trust that that is exactly who he is. And because I'm trusting in exactly how that person showed up, I'm trusting that that person is not for me, right? You hear my dog. So anyway, that's how I get down. So I thought I had this really good love relationship with myself. I don't allow people to cross my boundaries too much. I don't play that mess in love. Like, I am not one of those women who's like, oh, I'm gonna give him a second chance because I love him. I love myself more. It's not that I don't love the other people, especially a romantic partner. I got deep love for anybody that I'm allowing to share my body, even if you are what I consider to be a fling. Just know I've been checking you out for a minute, and I got love for you. In some way, shape, or form, there is something about you that I have taken into myself and said, you know what, I'm very much attracted to this and hold this in high value. And that's the only reason why anybody's ever had a chance to come at me. I can promise you that, except for when I was in my hoe stage. And my hoe stage is a whole different conversation. We'll talk about that when we touch back down on that root chakra. But I'm just letting you know. I thought I had this developed sense of love for myself. I knew that I had a external love language that was very strong. What I had to learn in that situation, and as I had to recover from that moment, is that self-love is a serious thing, and I needed to start showing up in self-love for myself. It was not self-loving to allow people to call me into situations that I had no business being in to get hurt. It wasn't that person's fault. It was my fault for feeling like I needed to respond in a way that put my health and my life in danger. And I promise you, to this day, even with the young person, I have not blamed them for the fact that all three of us were in that situation. I blame myself for being in a situation that involved the two of them. What I needed to do when they were out of control was call the police. Okay? That would have been the best thing to do. Help was needed. I wasn't the help. So that's definitely what I learned. But like I said, the other more important part of what I learned had to do with the fact that, ooh,